Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessings. Great evening to everyone who is here. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic, phenomenal, spectacular, all of those great adjectives that I love to say to you all on this awesome, pretty chilly Read Aloud Sunday. My name is Miss Seisha. And again, I started back up the read alouds via live stream a few months ago. I had actually originally started it back in 2017, and I was doing it on Facebook only. I did it for a couple of years, took a break, came back, and then took another break, came back again. And I am here, you guys, ready to provide a great read aloud for you and the family, for my adults. If you do not have your children in front of the screen right now listening, please go ahead and grab them. This is a perfect way to get them back into reading. Reading aloud is one of those beneficial, entertaining ways that you can help get your child to actually be able to start wanting to read because you're able to bring those stories to life. You're able to do, when you're reading stories and they have the different characters and you can give voices to the characters, you can make them as creative and cool and funky and all of that, as you would like to get your kids involved. We really should be on a mission together to help eradicate the high levels of illiteracy that plague our Black and underserved communities. All right. And for those of you on YouTube Live, thank you for joining me. Thank you for my subscribers. I appreciate you all tremendously. For those of you on Instagram, I thank you all as well for, tuning in and everything. This is such a beautiful thing. And so I want to get right onto the story. I've been so excited ever since I ordered this copy of this book. Yay! I talked about it when I went on live, when I first got the copies. I think we had wound up giving a copy away when we were at the event yesterday, the Extreme Compound event, 1 year anniversary, a total success. We gave away 35 books. We could have gave away more, but you do the best you can. You try your best to encourage people to take books. And again, those books we were given, we asked people to donate. And if they weren't able to donate at that time, that was okay. We still wanted them to walk away with a book in their hand for them and their child or children. So I'm going to get right on started, y'all. Yee! This book, Magic Trash, a story of Tyree Guyton and his art, written by J.H. Shapiro, illustrated by Vanessa Brantley Newton. Oh, I am just so excited. And the illustrator, rather, Vanessa Brantley Newton, I'm connected to her on Facebook. She's, had commented a few times on my posts. I really, enjoy looking at her beautiful, creative, unique art. And so it's just so cool and dope to be able to read this book and to be able to see her artwork as well, celebrating our Black and our Black authors and Black illustrators. All right. So here we go. A story of Tyree Guyton and his art, y'all, turning that trash into art treasure. Let's get on started. A winter chill whooshed down Heidelberg Street. Young Tyree Guyton buttoned his coat. Pop! His last button flipped into the gutter. He dove after it, then dug through frosty leaves. He pried a popsicle stick from the ice. He hoisted a bicycle wheel off the curb. He scooped up a baseball cap buried in the snow. Pockets clanking, Tyree darted home, a home on the east side of Detroit that already bulged with 10 children. Shop around. Tyree sang along with the radio as he unloaded the day's finds. His mama didn't earn enough money sewing and cleaning to buy new shoes, much less bikes and balls. So he zapped fun into amazing junk that others tossed away. Popsicle sticks became boards to build a house. The cap soared like a rocket ship. The wheel bounced, spokes jumping, dots danced. Let rockets fly, boards tower high. Bounce, jump, and dance. Magic trash. Tyree barely heard the thump thwack of his brother's games while he dreamt of designs. In school, he sat alone, drawing pictures. When his report card arrived, his aunt asked, "Is Tyree dumb?" "Maybe crazy," his mama whispered. Then one sunny day, when Tyree was 9, his grandpa Sam, a house painter, plopped a brush into his hands. "Paint the world," Grandpa said. Tyree dipped into Grandpa's cans of color, sloshing purple, slapping yellow, aiming his brush like a magic wand. Abracadabra. Tyree's shyness vanished. Sweet apples crunched when he glopped the red. He'd never seen Lake Huron, but now it splashed in a pool of blue. "Like new," Grandpa said of a glistening ladder. Tyree smiled and swirled a shade of green. Other kids on his street giggled and razzed. "Look at his green face. Ha, green junk." Still, as Tyree zoomed from bent bottle caps to rusty wheels, Grandpa Sam's words twirled in his head. "I'm going to be an artist," Tyree said. His mama hung her head. "That's not a job." He peered into Grandpa's twinkling eyes. Tyree clenched his brush. He would be an artist. Yes. Brush greens and blues on wheels and shoes. Slosh, slap, and splash. Magic trash. At age 12, Tyree squinted into spiraling smoke as National Guard tanks rolled down nearby Mount Elliott Street. All his life, neighbors had raced out of town to live in new suburbs. Now, some who stayed exploded in rage like shaken bottles of Verner's ginger ale. Tyree gawked, teeth chattering. Rioters were burning buildings in his neighborhood. When he grew to be 16, Tyree too left the shapes and hues of Heidelberg Street to seek a new life. He marched as a soldier. He inspected cars in a factory. He doused fires as a firefighter. But he never forgot about painting his world. So he enrolled in art school to learn more about colors, lines, and designs. At last, Tyree bolted back home to Heidelberg. When he returned, though, his street had changed. Houses sat deserted, creeping with spirits of owners who had run away from the neighborhood. Tyree tripped over trash, lots of trash, and troublemakers lurked. They snuck into hollow houses. They even set fire to one. Whoo! Spirits whirl. New trouble swirl, kick, burn, and hurl magic trash. No, cried Tyree, not on this street. His mama still lived in the same home. Grandpa Sam painted pictures inside now. Tyree grabbed his brush and burrowed through rubbish. He cast spells on suitcases, toilets, and a slide trombone. Before the colors dried, Grandpa Sam hurried out to help. They painted a busted bus. They tied shoes to trees. They flung broken bikes and cast off tires on burnt out buildings and forgotten yards. And they painted faces of God in blue, black, and orange. Their street sparkled. When trouble still sizzled in one discarded home, Tyree coated it in dots and squares of pink, blue, yellow, and purple, then perched a magenta watchdog on the porch. Dopey dealing thieves hustled from its view, chased away by bright paint and barking trash. Tyree named one home Dotty Waddy and another Funhouse. Spying hungry, crying children, he dangled broken baby dolls on telephone poles and rooftops. Dolls sobbed with each puff of wind. Maybe now others would see. Bright colors flash, scared dealers dash, bark, cry, and swing, magic trash. Some people squawked about garbage. A few neighbors complained to the city. The mayor and his helpers stomped. Soon bulldozers rolled up to the project to crush every doll and board. You can't do that, yelled neighbors as dust swooped to the treetops. Get out of here, others screamed. Tyree's trash is beautiful. Tyree scrambled to snatch a few pieces. This is my art, he cried. But the dots and stripes and baby dolls lay bashed and smashed and still. Tyree rubbed his eyes. Grandpa Sam poked at Powell's. Old houses talk. Some neighbors squawk. Crash, bash, and smash. Magic trash. Art had filled Tyree's and Grandpa Sam's lives. Now 93, Grandpa Sam had grown too old to help. Never stop painting, Grandpa said, squeezing Tyree's hand. And then Tyree stood alone with brushes, paint, and trash. He wasn't alone for long, though. We can help, neighbors called. Your colors and dots chased away those thieves. Together they shoveled, swept, and hauled in new trash. Then, after 8 years of painting and rebuilding, neighbors heard wreckers screech a second time. Faces of God watched while the city crushed 2 more houses. No, Tyree yelled. Tyree and his neighbors were hopping mad. The street is ours, they said. We'll never quit. They marched downtown to tell their story to a judge and jury. The city argued that Heidelberg Street was a garbage dump. No, decided the court. It is art. Tyree's work survived. The next day, Tyree and his neighbors began anew, aiming their brushes like magic wands. Children sang as they hammered and spattered designs. Even former troublemakers returned, ready to rake, sweep, and build. United by trash, they cast a spell on the street, brightening their home for good. Word of Heidelberg Street spread far. It blazed across the air. Folks from Canada, Kenya, and Japan scurried to the neighborhood. They stared. Wow, look at that. Tyree waved his brush. Welcome. In a warm breeze, dots danced, gleaming cast offs jangled and jumped. Let rockets fly. Boards tower high. Bounce, jump, and dance. Magic trash. The end. And this is a picture here. You see the side of him um, about of Tyree Guyton, this brother right here. So I'll read this part. It says the author's note, Magic Trash is based on the life and art of painter and sculptor Tyree Guyton. He was born 1955. In 2011, the Heidelberg Project celebrated its 25th anniversary. Tyree continues to work on Heidelberg Street and travels internationally to lecture and assist with installations of community art. He represented the United States in the 2008 Venice Architecture Biennale or Biennale. You may visit the Heidelberg Project in Detroit or view Tyree Guyton's art in museums, including the Detroit Institute of Arts. All right, so you can discover more. What I would suggest is, just go ahead and Google him. He may be on Facebook or Instagram or one of the social media platforms or TikTok or something like that. And I would, look him up. Have your children research him. And one of the reasons why, too, this book, I was attracted to this book is because my son Yusuf, he is a phenomenal artist. He's 12 years old. And that's just one of the things that he does. He is consumed a lot with, now he's into animation. So he loves to make these animation videos, which is just pretty cool to learn about. But he used to draw like a lot. He still draws too, but this is one of the things he's been gravitating towards as of lately. And he's that kid who he is into his art. And I saw that, early on. I want to say he probably had started drawing maybe around 5 or 6. And so when I saw that and I saw how, he loved to draw, and I was just encouraging him. I'm like, yeah, you keep doing that. You keep doing, your artwork, because you can turn that into a profession. And it was very hurtful in this story to know that his mom, Tyree's mom, she was looking at it like, what are you going to do with art? How are you going to make money? And part of me was just like, dang, man, that's messed up, which it was. But I also understand too, just like in the story it said, he came from a very big family, seeing his mother struggle. Not for sure if, dad was there or not, but that's when you have that struggling survival's mindset. Unfortunately, it can take you down that road of you don't see the vision that maybe your children may have. The only thing that you see is, I got to make sure I provide food, clothing, shelter. I got to make sure that you're taken care of. So I don't have time for you to be talking about you want to do something like art. That's not considered something that you can turn into making money. So again, when you have that society that was built on oppression and oppression of Black folks, that's the kind of results that you get. So, how can we eradicate that? How can we combat that? Well, we change our mindsets. Because remember, in the story, Tyree's grandfather had the opposite mindset. His mindset was, no, I see an artist in my grandson. I see my grandson who has a way with bringing things that is considered trash that people discard, and he turns that into beautiful, inspirational artwork. And of course, the last lesson that I got from this story, which I thought was, of course, brilliant, is that he said, you know what? Yes, this is the community that I've been raised in. Yeah, he could have easily, as he got grown, and said, you know, man, I'm out of here. I'm about to go to the suburbs, like a lot of Black folks had done, and just, I'm about to leave this city. And I'm not knocking anybody who, of course, who does that, but his attitude was, no, I'm not going to run. I'm going to stay here and I'm going to do the best I can to change my environment. I'm going to change my environment. I'm going to change the mindset, not only of himself, but he was hoping to inspire that in the other people in his neighborhood. And you see what happens, right? When you stick to what it is that you're gonna do, and you have that attitude of, yes, I'm gonna make a change, I'm gonna make a difference, it becomes a domino effect. It really does. You start to galvanize the people, and the people start seeing your vision because they see you have that stick to itness. They see you, they're like, you know what? Oh, I see what you want. You literally about that life. You don't want to see our people just living around filth. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna change that. You're gonna take that perceived trash or whatever, and you're going to turn it into an art treasure. So you all let me know in the comments what was your takeaways from this book. I hope that it was inspirational, and again, I hope that it allows you to go and go down that rabbit hole to research this brother Tyree Guyton. Actually, I'm going to do that as well, and you guys take a deep dive into just having ways that you could talk to your children about what is it that they want to do, what things and skills that they have, and they can turn that into a purpose that is going to be beneficial not only to them, to their family, but to the community and to the world. All right. So everybody take care. Please, you all see the Cash App, ABC Read, because yes, again, these are the kinds of books that we give to the community. And and as you see, got the shelf, y'all. Holla! So I got some books back here. And these are the types of books that we love to give for the community, books that are for for all the ages, right? And again, Black and underserved communities, that is who we target. And we make sure that we are getting majority books that represents and reflects the community that we serve. All right, thank you. My name is Miss Sasha. And remember, read, 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 and reading is freedom.